How's it going, YouTube? Dallasboi here, back in with another Pokemon Black and White 2 Wi-Fi battle. And today's match is going to be against CyberStein619, who I ran into on Skype. He hit me up for an OU match, and I accepted, trying to test out this team. And this is pretty much what happened. So, looking at teams, it looks like he's running a rain team according to the Polytoad on his side of the field. And the biggest threat to my team is probably going to be that Tornadus-T, which just recently got banned to Ubers. And before I go into my side of the match, common question of the day: what do you guys feel about Tornadus getting banned and whatnot? But looking at the 4 electric weaknesses to his team, I'm thinking that Thunder's-T is going to be the biggest threat on my team to his. So, pretty much keep my Thunders alive, and I feel like I should be okay for this match. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle, and let's get this show on the road! To start the match, my opponent opts to lead off with his Tornadus, and I opt to lead with Marshawn Lynch the Thunderous, kind of expecting him to be leading off with Polytoad. And knowing my experiences with other Thunderous-Ts, I thought I could live this HP Ice, but it actually turns out that this one ends up being a crit. And this obviously mattered a lot because of how much I needed Thundurus, and from previous experiences with Thunduruses and Tornadus-Ts, I felt like I could have lived one. So Rachi comes in, he goes for the U-turn, and I try to go for a Body Slam just to try to paralyze that Thundurus-T, or whatever tries to come in. And Polytoad, yep, not getting paralyzed, and by that damage, that is a physically defensive Polytoad, so I'm just going to be U-turning out and into an appropriate switch, which would be his Jellicent to get some Water Absorb action going off that Scald. And here I thought that I could outspeed this Polytoad and go for the taunt on his Toxic, but unfortunately he actually winds up missing the Toxic there, and at the end of the match, it didn't really matter that much, and you'll see why later. So, Alakazam comes out, Sponges a predicted Will-O-Wisp. I could have gone for the Scald there, but I just wanted a free chance to burn that Polytoad and whatnot. And as I pull in my Jirachi, it actually turns out that this is a trick set. So this pretty much means that my Jirachi is essentially useless outside of U-turning and whatnot. And I'm just going to be going for a steady U-turn right now on Polytoad. And I'll be bringing in Megriff, the male Gothitelle. And pretty much the best option I have here, spam Thunderbolts left and right and do as much damage as I can. And unfortunately after one Thunderbolt, Polytoad's going to be litting that hit. And going for the Perish Song. And I almost call that thing Poliwag. Just... it's that freaking name that I really don't like. I'm so sorry, guys. But anyways, getting back into the match. After I KO the Polytoad, Tornadus-T is going to be coming in, going for the U-turn, and fortunately I do sponge that hit with 121 HP, and he's going to be going into Alakazam, and will be dealt a nice little chunk with a Thunderbolt, and now the Shadow Ball is kind of obvious right here, so knowing that's coming in, my Perish count is down to 1. I'm going to be switching into Jirachi and sponging this Shadow Ball very nicely because this is supposed to be a physically defensive, or especially defensive wall, my bad. And I'm just going to be spamming a U-turn as Tentacruel comes in because Specs Jirachi that got tricked into Choice Specs, and what else can I do with it except U-turn? And now I'm sending out my Gothitelle once more. And surprisingly, I'm outsped by the Scald. And fortunately, I live with 12, got the Psychic. But unfortunately for me, Squidward the Tentacruel is going to be living with just a nub. And getting a little bit more back due to the Rain Dish and the leftovers. And on the next turn, I get taken out with an Ice Beam. So I don't really have much means of taking this Tentacruel out, so I'm just going to have to go into Terrakion here and go for the Earthquake on this thing. And I do carry Earthquake for just these situations. Tentacruel, Toxicroak, Rachi, some stuff like that. So, Fairy Bird comes in right now once more. And right now I feel like Terrakion is the most important member of my team. So I just go into Jirachi to sponge a hurricane, and the confusion doesn't matter at all, because after this U-turn you will see that I get to pull off the U-turn on my own, as comes in Toxic Rogue. And pretty much the best switch-in I have for this thing is probably going to be my Donphan, and it actually gives me a pretty good opportunity to set up rocks. And as I set up rocks, unfortunately for me, I get to see a substitute from this Toxic Rogue. So this kind of confirms that this is a sub-bulk up set of Toxic Rogue, as you will be seeing next turn. And pretty much the best thing I have to do to break its sub is obviously go for my stab move Earthquake. And thanks to the sub, I'm not able to see how much damage the Earthquake does with the Toxic Rogue at +1. But it turns out that Toxic Rogue does go for that +2. And looking at the damage, it kind of turns out that Earthquake is looking like a pretty good 2-hit KO from that range, but he's got Drain Punch, and he's going to be recovering some of that up. And it's looking like Drain Punch is doing enough to 3-hit KO me, and Earthquake is a pretty good 2-hit KO. So on the next turn, I should be able to take out this Toxic Rogue with one more Earthquake. However, plans actually go pretty awry, as this Drain Punch actually results in a crit, which means I'm going to have to be forced into going out into Terrakion and whatnot and try to Earthquake this thing right back for a revenge kill. So, like I said, in comes Terrakion right now, and I try to go for the Earthquake right here, and I was honestly afraid that this wouldn't kill because it was a +2 Toxic Rogue. But fortunately, I get a crit of my own, and this one definitely mattered. But then again, it kind of makes up for the crit that I got. The crit that he got on my Donphan. So knowing that there's an immunity on the field to Earthquake, Tornadus-T is going to be coming in and smacking my Jirachi with a Hurricane, and then taking out on the following turn with U-turn. And here I'm in a bit of a situation where I have to try to hit 3 Stone Edges in a row and try to clean up the rest of this field with my own Terrakion. And Gyarados comes in, and his Gyarados coming in at this point didn't really matter that much in the long run, because he told me he had Moxie. And fortunately, I do hit my first Stone Edge and take the Gyarados straight out. Alakazam is up second to try to take a Stone Edge, and unfortunately I connect with that one, and Alakazam falls. Now his last Pokemon is his Tornadus-Therian, and unfortunately for me, I missed a Stone Edge. And he is actually able to fire off a Hurricane on me, and much to my surprise, I actually lived this hit with 71, but I get the Confusion Knack, so I have to worry about that, and trying to hit with Stone Edge. But fortunately, I connect with Stone Edge, take the Tornadus-Therian out, bye-bye Birdie, and that will be the game. So, very, very haxy match in his favor, and fortunately, Terrakion there was able to put the team on its back and pretty much gather the win up for me. So, annoying match, but still very fun. And don't forget to hit the comment question in the comment section below. Your thoughts on Tornadus-T getting banned and whatnot. And as annoying as Tornadus-T is with its Hurricanes, high speed, and Regenerator and U-turning and whatnot, it was still pretty manageable. I had the Jirachi to sponge its sits, and Stealth Rocks from Donphan kind of helped out a little bit, but it didn't really matter that much in the long run. But what can you do? So anyways, rate, comment, sub, and I will see you guys next time.